In this video, I will show you how to get 30 days of work done today. I used to be that guy who's just busy all the time but got nothing done, and I don't want that to be you. This video is going to be about 10 minutes long. If you can't sit and watch a 10-minute YouTube video about how to get 30 days of work done in one day, then there's no point in even trying. So full screen the video, don't scroll to the comments, notifications off, let's get into it. If you want to understand how to get a month's work done in a day, you have to understand how work actually works. What are the variables that go into work and getting outcomes? So I have this equation that I've put together, and I think if you understand this equation, you understand how to actually get work done. So I call this the output equation. The variables that are going to go into the output or the work that you get done is the quality of the task that you do multiplied by the quantity of the task you do multiplied by the time that you have. So at the base level, if you want to get more done, you have to influence one of these variables. You have to increase one of these three variables. So if you want to get more done, then you either have to increase the quality of the task you do, you have to increase the quantity of the task you do, or you have to increase the amount of time you spend doing tasks. If you increase any one of these variables while keeping the others constant, you will increase the amount you get done. And the more you can increase this, the more you can get done. And you can get to a point where you're getting a month's work done in a day. And if you string a few of those days together, you're going to get a lot done. So let's go through how we can actually influence one of these or all of these three variables so we can get the most done. The first one we're going to look at is quantity. How can we increase the quantity, the number of tasks that we get done? Because if we can increase the quantity of the tasks we get done, get a lot more done, it's a good time. So how we're actually going to increase the quantity of the tasks we're going to do or get done is we're going to optimize for attention. We're going to increase the amount of attention and focus that we have on the task that we're trying to complete. So if you look at these two circles, think of this as you, right? So this first circle is maybe how you are right now. So I'm going to draw little lines, and these little lines are going to indicate the focus that you have, the attention you have. So let's say throughout the day, you have to focus a little bit of attention into your business, right? The work you're trying to get done. But then you also allocate a bit of your attention into what's happening in the world of politics. And you also allocate a little bit of attention into social media. And you also allocate a bit of attention into your favorite sports team. And you also allocate a bit of attention into those group chats that you're on. And then you also allocate a bit of attention into that girl that you're messaging, right? And then you also allocate a bit of attention into the video game you're playing. And as you can see here, you're spreading out your attention so thin that you're really not getting anywhere. You just have all of these little bits of attention that's going in 50 different directions, but you're not actually getting anything done. And that's probably a good reason why you're stuck not actually getting much done, because your attention is so split in all these different directions that you have no real focus. Alternatively, if you had removed all of these different distractions, all of these different things pulling your attention, and you focus only on growing your business, look at how much more you can get done. If this is a day, look how much you've got done over the space of a day. String a few of those days together, you're going to get a serious amount more done. The person who can focus singularly on one task for a long period of time is a person that's going to get outsized returns. So if you want these outsized returns, you need to know how to allocate your attention properly. If you look at the top entrepreneurs, the people at the very top making the most money, making the biggest impact on the world, they're the people who allocate their attention as much as possible onto one thing, onto moving that one big thing forward. And because they're able to focus all of their attention on that one thing, they're able to just get so much more done because they're not worried about the sports team. They're not worried about the politics. They're not worried about social media. They're not worried about the group chats. They're not worried about learning guitar and their side hustle and what's going on across the world, right? They're not worried about all these things. They're just worried about the one thing, getting the one thing done. And because they're singularly focused, they're going to get so much more done. So the next variable that is going to influence our output is going to be our time. And time is going to be very similar as to how we're going to approach this as to how we would with our focus. Is that at the end of the day, if you want to be able to allocate more time to getting one thing done, you have to just get rid of all those other things that you shouldn't be doing. So it's going to be very similar. If you're spending 30 minutes a day keeping up with politics and you get rid of that, that's another 30 minutes a day you can spend on your business. If you're spending an hour a day scrolling social media, that's now an hour of a day you have to spend on your business. Okay? If you spend 30 minutes a day messaging group chats and you got rid of that, or you cut that by a third to 10 minutes, that's an extra 20 minutes or an extra 30 minutes you have back in your day to work on your business. And as you can see here, the more you eliminate, the more you cut, the more time you have to focus on that one thing that matters. And the more time you have to focus on that one thing that matters, the more that thing that matters is going to improve, it's going to grow, and it's going to change. You could really just replace these little lines of attention with time. If you focus all of your time into your business, or let's say you focused 80% of your time into your business, and then you put 10% into improving your health and 10% into building your relationships, it's going to be so much better than if you had, 2 hours on your business and 2 hours on social media, 2 hours here, 2 hours there, it adds up, right? It adds up over time. And the more you can cut, the more you can eliminate, the better you can be. And you hear this over and over and over again with the top entrepreneurs, the people at the very top. You will hear this so often, is that they are ruthless with their time. Can we get a coffee? No. Can we do this? No. Can we do that? No. If you ever heard, if you know a guy called Naval Ravikant, he bought the domain idon'tdocoffee.com, right? So if someone sent him an email, he would reply, or he would be auto-replied with an email address from Naval at idon'tdocoffee.com saying, basically, fuck off. I need my time. I need my attention because I need to focus on what matters. And the more ruthless you can be with your time, the more ruthless you can be with your attention, the more you're going to get done, right? And over a long enough time horizon, you will just be unbeatable. So if you can eliminate these things, you have so much more time and you can get so much more done. Your output is going to go crazy. So if you are a digital entrepreneur and you want help eliminating these items, there is a link in the description below. I can help you out with that if that's what you're into. Otherwise, let's crack on with it. So the last variable that we can influence is the quality of the tasks we complete. And this is arguably one of the most important things, because no matter how much time you have and no matter how many tasks you do, if you're working on the wrong things, nothing matters. Literally nothing matters if you're working on the wrong thing. If you have a business and no one knows about your business, but you spend 3 weeks working on your logo or working on the layout of your website, it doesn't matter. No one knows you exist. What are you doing, right? If you allocate this time and attention that you have back onto the right things, onto high quality tasks, you're going to get so much more done. If you think about the 80-20 principle, it applies in so many facets of life, but 20% of the tasks that you can do that are going to move your business forward are probably responsible for about 80% of the growth. They're going to move 80% of the needle. The issue is they're usually the hard things. They're usually the big dragons in the closet. They're usually those things that you've swept under the rug until you've built up an absolute mountain. They're the things that you don't want to focus on because they're hard, because they're scary. But they're the things that if you get them done, they're going to move. They're going to make differences. The issue is everyone's focusing on this. Everyone's focusing on the 80% of the things that don't move the needle, that account for 20% of the business growth. If you can allocate 100% of your attention to the 20% of things that actually matter, you're going to be far better off. So those are the 3 variables that are going to influence the output you get. If you can eliminate all of this crap from your life, if you can focus only on what matters, you're going to get an insane amount more done, because you're not only going to increase the quantity of the tasks you can complete, but you're also going to increase the time you have to complete them. And if you use that extra focus and attention to focus on high quality tasks that move the needle, you will be unstoppable. Over a long enough time horizon, you are going to crush everyone in your wake. So that was the video. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.